What's up, guys? Anthony Smith here. Today, I'm going to be attacking this UFC Belgrade card, starting with the first fight of the night, Marina Spacich versus Stephanie Luciano. Spacich making her debut because she's from Serbia. They found this random crackhead on the street of Belgrade and said, hey, want to come in and fight? She said, so they gave her Stephanie Luciano. I think Luciano has this. She should have an advantage basically everywhere. Spacich might land some shots in the clinch here and there, but I think Luciano will be one step ahead on the feet, and then if this fight should go to the ground, it's because Luciano chose to, and she'll be winning on top. So, seems like an easy pick, but it is women's strawweight, and every single women's strawweight fight that doesn't involve Fatima Klein basically means nothing. So, I'll go Luciano by a decision, of course. Next up, Jovan Leka versus Alexander Popik. This is actually a good fight. Both of these guys are Contender Series non-signees. Popik is because he sucks and lost to Jamal Hill, and who, by the way, my God, is he disgusting to look at these days, Jamal Hill. And Leka, he actually, I think it was last season, maybe it was the season before, but I don't remember, but he didn't get signed because he was boring, basically. He just kind of laid on the guy, even though he probably should have got a finish. But I think he does get a finish here. I think he finishes Popik. Popik's like a middleweight-sized man. He's not. He's a little bigger, but he's like a small 205-er. You know what I mean? And Leka's like a gigantic heavyweight who has to cut to make heavyweight. So it just seems like Leka's going to be the one who wants to wrestle. I've seen Popik get taken down on the regionals. This seems like Leka all day just imposes his girth and fat-ass body on Popik and eventually finds a finish. You would think if gigantic heavyweight Jovan Leka gets on top of Alexander Popik, he could finish him eventually, just based off the pure girth and tonnage difference. So I have Leka. I'll go second round, ground and pound TKO. I think he just mother's milks him on top, honestly. Next up, Nina Milosevic versus Haley Cowan. I mean, talk about the highest level of the sport here, folks. Haley Cowan has like the Facebook mom 1,000-yard stare, and Milosevic is chopped. Milosevic is minus 500. Lord knows why. I mean, obviously I know why she's fighting Haley Cowan, but Cowan's not even like that bad. She's going to be the better athlete here. Milosevic is like stiff and weird looking when she fights, but she should have the grappling edge. She honestly should have a striking edge. Haley Cowan's just not good. She's just not a fighter. I think Milosevic, I'm seeing people pick Milosevic by sub. I don't hate it, but I'll go Nina by decision. This fight's genuinely a disgrace to the sport. And a disgrace to this card. This card's pretty good. And they're stinking it up with Nina Milosevic, bro. Banger. Next up, Mateusz Rebecki versus Kyle fucking Prepolek, dude. Mateusz Rebecki versus fucking white guy Kyle from Canada. Let's get fucking sendy, bud. Mateusz Rebecki has a horrible hairline, so I guess that's something bad about him. But he's gonna smoke Prepolek. And if he doesn't, he needs to be sent to Poland and imprisoned. It's Kyle Prepolek. He's a victim. He was looking good against Dober until Dober nutshotted him and just kind of used that to his advantage. But it's Drew Dober. Drew Dober's not good. I don't know why people pretend Drew Dober's good. He's always like losing until he's not. He just has ridiculous pop for a 55-er, and all of a sudden he's just the GOAT. Getting masterclassed by Bobby till the KO. MJ was up before the KO, in my opinion. Classic Michael Johnson. Dober's just such a bot. Getting his ass beat by McKinney until he wasn't. Again, classic McKinney. But Dober's nothing special. Prepolek was like minorly outpointing him in moments. Rebecki's not a guy who's getting minorly outpointed, dude. You know what I mean? He has a big grappling edge here. I think if he wants to take the fight to the ground, he can. He can just do what BSD did. Just maraud this guy. But even on the feet, pressure should be there. Prepolek's such a goofball on the feet, dude. He's not a natural fighter. Rumbeski is. I feel like if Rumbeski loses this, it's because he's a dumb fuck. Kind of like the last fight where he fought Grant Dawson. And I switched my pick from Rumbeski to Grant Dawson last second. So, I mean, I'm happy he's a dumb fuck because it made my pick right, but he knocked Grant Dawson down pretty bad. And then he just let Grant Dawson cockroach his way back into the fight and sub him in round 3. Which I'm glad happened because, for one, I picked Grant Dawson, and for two, that sub that Grant Dawson got on him was fucking sick. That, like, modified rear naked he got, dude. The GD lock. That shit was dope. Rumbeski's going to slime this guy out. I'll go round 2. No. Dude, honestly, slime him in round 1, though, right? It's Kyle Prepelec. Go Rumbeski round 1 finish. I don't know. Jesus Christ, dude. Bogdangrad's picture just scared me. I'll go Rumbeski. Sorry. Dude, that actually scared me. I'll go Rumbeski round 1 KO. Could be a sub, but just slime him out, dude. It's Prepelec. Next up, Denis Bazookia versus Bogdangrad. I mean, another low-level jobber fight, but it could be exciting, maybe. But I think it's going to be a bit of a stinker. Bazookia is like 1-4 in the UFC, and Grad's not good. Like, this seems winnable for Grad. Just keep shooting, and even on the feet, I feel like Bazookia is just more victimable. It's easier to make Bazookia uncomfortable than Grad. If Grad just stays on the front foot, he really shouldn't lose this, even if it's on the feet for a decent bit of time. Bazookia, like, I just couldn't tell you what Bazookia is good at. Like, what does he do? He's 12-6, he loses to everyone he fights. Bogdangrad has hair now and he looks ridiculous. I mean, what a fake PFL-ass fight, bro. Or sorry, MVP, because they just stole PFL. Can't wait for Jake Paul versus Dakota Ditcheva. It's going to be electric. I'll go Bogdangrad decision. He could chin Bazookia because Bazookia is made out of paper, but I'll go Grad decision. Next up, dude, this is where the card gets good. I think it's all bangers from here on out. Borislav Nikolic versus Mark Vologdin. Two people who, in my opinion, might not be UFC level, but this should be fun, though. Vologdin making videos with Jaden Cable. That's already 1 point to Nikolic. And Nikolic, if you watch his tape, it's never a good sign when a guy's losing on the regional scene and having to make, like, comeback performances. You know? Like, not always. And there's some fighters, you know, like Peyton Talbot. He had a few fights on the regionals where he was down until he found the finish. But this guy Nikolic, it's like round 4, and then he finally finds the shot. And it's like, if it takes that long to get going, it's hard for me to trust you. You know? But Mark Vologdin's just bad. And he's too small, man. This isn't even like he's... Like, Vologdin's a small bantamweight fighting a normal-sized bantamweight. This guy, Nikolic... Okay, they don't have his height listed, but he's like 5'10", right? He's like a tall, lanky 5'9". And this guy, Vologdin's so puny, bro. And he's still... I'm not completely convinced he's a UFC-level fighter. Nikolic hasn't proved to me he's not yet. Vologdin has. He lost to Castaneda. Yeah, it was a draw, but, like, he lost. He lost his Contender Series fight, got signed because it was fun. The kid's a bit of a jobber. You know what I mean? He's too small. These guys are both kind of blockheads who just take one to give one. I just think Nikolic is going to not have to work as hard to land. You know what I mean? He must have a gigantic reach advantage. It doesn't say here, but he must just... It's going to be a lot easier for Nikolic to damage Vologdin than vice versa. You know what I mean? So, I don't know if he gets a finish. Vologdin is a young, durable sped. But I wouldn't be surprised if Borislav found a finish. I'll go Nikolic decision. Low confidence, because like I said, this Nikolic guy is very startling to watch on the regional scene, because he's not exactly destroying his competition every time, but, you know, I feel like Vologdin is just going to get the shit kicked out of him from range again, and then he's going to switch up on Jaden Cable when he loses. Next up, Oban Elliott versus Michael Oliveira. Oh my goodness. I mean, just look at the difference in the physique. I mean, Jesus, dude. My God. I've never been on the Oban train. I'm obviously picking Michael Oliveira, obviously. I've never been on the Oban train, man. You know, he got to the UFC from like a really shit Contender Series fight. That wasn't impressive to me at all. And then he beats like Preston Parsons, I think. Unless I'm thinking of someone else. But I know he beat Val Woodburn. But like he got hurt by Woodburn early. And then he beat Basil Hafez. But it was like an unimpressive tit for tat, slightly outpointing him from range. About to be a decision until he fluked him in the third out of nowhere. And then he goes on to make Sukyan Ko look like a future top 5 fighter to now find out that Sukyan Ko's barely a top 25 welterweight. Like, this guy Sukyan Ko is a bum. No striking, doesn't move his head, horrible in extended striking exchanges, not even that good of a wrestler for real. You can take him down. Like, he's very beatable, and this guy Oban Elliott made him look like the goat of the sport, so that's not good. I picked him, he was a big favorite there, and he sold. And then he gets booked against Mikolev. People are like, dude, Oban's the best dog of all time, because Mikolev was like minus 120. I'm like, dude, Mikolev's going to slime this guy out. And Mikolev didn't even look good in that fight, and he still won. Mikolev fights like fucking Rainer de Ritter, dude. He's just a southpaw with a goofy left leg, with weird power in the hands, and then once the fight does hit the ground, he's a demon. So it's not like Oban Elliott is fighting like the worst people and losing to the worst people, but these guys aren't killers. Michael Oliveira is a fucking problem, dude. This guy's gigantic. Hits like a bus. He's patient. You know what I mean? He's not just swinging. He knows how to cut the cage. This isn't like Atiba Gautier just throwing wide 1-2s with no setup once you get slightly close to the cage. You know, he's leading you on to shots, peppering you with the jab, feinting the jab to the body. 1-2, boom, now you're dead. Sorry, boss. Oban Elliott, too small. Gigantic reach advantage for Oliveira. I think he just, does what he should do here. Keep Oban backed up. Oban's not going to be able to close the distance effectively, I don't think, with the striking to even get in on a shot. This is gonna look like Sean Brady versus Michael Morales, bro. Oban's about to get victimized by the girth of Michael Oliveira. I'll say round 1 KO, could be round 2, but I'll go round 1 just because Oban is a can. Next up, Ludovic Klein versus Tafik Hitler. I mean, like, he just looks like a terrorist in the picture, dude. This guy Tafik. Ludovic Klein's minus 250. I think that's kind of bananas. I think he's even up to like minus 300. I don't know about that. He's coming off of this 9-month layoff after he snapped his ankle and got destroyed in round 3. Tafik's coming off the performance I can only describe as Hitler inspired. It was terrifying to watch what he was doing to poor Bahamondes. But he looked good other than the cheating, His grappling actually looked a lot better than I thought it would. He was spending a lot of time on top, which surprised me. But I just think he's too slow, Tafik. Like, on the feet, I think Ludovic Klein's going to have a field day, blitzing in with 1-2s, exiting safely. Tafik's going to be missing. Ludovic's just going to kind of speed mog him a bit here, I think. I think they both could have some success grappling. Tafik catches a kick, takes Ludovic down. Klein shoots under Tafik. I don't think either of them are going to get anything going on the ground. This is a close fight, though. I don't agree with Klein being this big of a favorite, but I'm going to pick him. And maybe this is my internal hatred towards Musayev, and that's why, but I just don't know what Musayev's gonna do to win rounds here. Because like I said, I don't see him having wrestling success, and on the feet, I just think Klein's gonna land a lot more meaningful shots than Tafik. Next up, holy smokes, Milos Janicic versus Noah Gugnon. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Sorry. to all the French hoes out there. But this fight's going to be fucking sick, dude. Milos Janicic, both of these guys are making their debuts. It's basically a pick-em. And yeah, I agree with that. This is one of the hardest fights to pick on the card. I don't have like the best read on this. I honestly, if you want me to be candid with you, still don't know who I'm picking. That's why I'm edging you right now. Are you close yet? I'm stalling. I don't know who to pick. Janicic, I think stylistically on the feet, Janicic has a good style. You know, if he can get on the front foot, Noah doesn't move his fucking head at all. And Janicic throws so many jabs. He could bust Gugnon up here, but if Gugnon's on the front foot, Janicic doesn't move his fucking head. And Gugnon's pretty quick with that. He slips to the outside, just throws a lead right down the pipe. I think I'm gonna pick Noah, I guess. Dude, this one's tough. I think his shots are gonna have more of an impact. Janicic might get up early with jabs, but as long as he doesn't do like life-changing damage early, I think Gugnon will eventually find the timing and start landing the bigger shots, start kicking. Janicic is a bit of a blockhead, you know, he's doing like BKFC and bare knuckle MMA and stuff. I just feel like Gugnon's more focused on MMA. I think he's the more natural fighter from what I've seen. If that makes sense, it looks like he mixes in all the arts better than Janicic. And yeah, if anyone's wrestling here and having success in the grappling, it's going to be Noah. I don't know how to say his last name, so I'm going to just keep calling him Noah. And honestly, dude, Janicic's fans have been pissing me off. You know how when people from like a small, unrepresented country in the UFC finally get a fighter? You know what I mean? Like Uzbekistan, we're seeing it. Steve Urseg's posting, hey guys, I'm okay, losing sucks. And all the comments are like Uzbekistan flags and gifs of fucking Temirov's steroided ass. It's like, all right, dude. Any unrepresented country in the UFC, the fans just start gobbling in the comments. It's so fucking annoying. And that's what they're doing with Milos here, dude. Because he's from like Montenegro or something. I said that like a slur. Fucking Montenegro. Yeah, he's like the only fucker from there, so they're all glazing him. They're calling him a future champ in the comments. And Noah's just a dude. French guys are up right now. They had a big turnaround. They always got called pussy, but now they have Axel Sola. They have future champion Cyril Gane, future champion Amavov. They're up right now. I'm going with France. Noah Gugnon. He could get a finish, dude. This is going to be a war. I feel like I'm picking a lot of decisions on this card. No, not really. I don't know. I'll go decision for Gugnon. I think he's going to have to wrestle at certain points to try and stay safe, mix it up. Janicic, I've seen him get taken down before on the regionals, but he usually just instantly gets back up, sweeps instantly. Kind of similar to Nikolic. Nikolic can also be taken down, and Vologdin will shoot, but I don't think anything's going to happen. So I'm going to go Noah. Very low confidence, though. It's going to be a war. I'm actually really excited for that fight. Next up, Vlasto Sipo versus Gilbert Urbina. I mean, Vlasto Sipo being minus 340 against my dead grandma seems wide. But my dead grandma might be better than Gilbert Urbina. So I guess it kind of makes sense. Urbina's moving up a weight class, fighting a giant roid monkey in Serbia. Like this, it just doesn't seem good. It's not looking good, man. Sipo's nothing special. I mean, I'm posting this prediction video very late. I'm sure you've already watched your tape and heard everyone's opinion on Sipo. He is shit. He just runs and spams hooks. They aren't lying. If you haven't watched tape and you're just hearing people's predictions, they aren't kidding. He does just spam hooks and then get tired and then hold you against the fence. And then he's like, all right, I can throw hooks again for another 20 seconds. Oh, now I'm tired. Let me rest. Okay, now I can throw hooks again. That's all he does until he chins you. But he is literally a beginner white belt on the ground, and if Urbina just sticks him early, gets to the back, fight's probably over. But I can't trust Gilbert fucking Urbina, dude. So I'm gonna go Sipo. Bedtime picked Urbina, which honestly I disagree with, but Chad. I can respect that. I'm gonna go Sipo round 1 KO, because if he wins, that's probably what it's gonna be. He's just chinnable, you know? I'm rooting for Urbina, though, because Sipo is literally just Terrence McKinney, but worse. He's Terrence McKinney and Manuel Torres combined, and then you just lower their skill attributes everywhere, basically. That being said, I'm picking him by first round KO. That's how bad Gilbert Urbina is. Next up, Dusko to Jesus Christ, dude. Dusko Todorovic versus Robert Valentin. How on God's green earth did this sneak its way onto the main card of a fight night? I mean, my God. Dusko versus Robert Valentin. You know how bad you have to be plus 135 against Robert fucking Valentin, dude? I like Valentin. He had a very sweet, wholesome post-fight interview last time. Very feel-good story. I still don't know who I'm picking here, I'll be honest. I think I'm going to pick Valentin. Dusko, I trust Valentin to move forward, at least. I think he'll try. Dusko doesn't have the punch power to really scare Valentin, I don't think. And Todorovic off his back foot is a victim. But I mean, Ryan Loder took Valentin down and just smashed him. And I've never seen a bigger victim than Ryan Loder. Now, don't get me wrong. People forget, man. Ryan Loder is actually really good on the ground. He's a solid wrestler. He has good grappling, but on the feet, dude, like, you chin him immediately. And that's kind of how I feel about Dusko. So maybe Dusko just does what Loder does. But for one, I'm not convinced Dusko's as good as Loder when it comes to the wrestling and grappling. He's more of a control guy. I know he subbed Jose Daniel Medina, the best JDM in the UFC, but I mean, I think if you put a fucking monkey onto Jose Daniel Medina's back, they'd probably find a sub, so that doesn't really impress me. He lost a decision to Zach Reese. If you're not chinning Zach Reese, you're probably not chinning Valentin, right? If you're not taking Zach Reese down and like controlling him, you're probably not doing that to Valentin. Valentin has some momentum. He's more dangerous on the feet. I'm gonna go Valentin round. I think he'll club and sub him. I think he'll hurt him either in the first or second. Dusko will panic wrestle, and Valentin will lock up maybe a guillotine. Maybe he takes the back. I don't know, but I'll go Valentin first round sub. Now on to the feature fight. Rakic up at heavyweight as a minus 350 favorite. Holy shit, shoot me. Versus Marcin Tybura, dude. Now, Tybura is not a world beater, but dude, Rakic hasn't won a fight since the Obama administration, man. How is he minus 350? I'm going to pick him. Yeah, I'm going to pick him, dude. But, like, I picked him to beat fucking fat Uber guy. What's his name? I deadass forgot his name right now. It'll come to me. Fucking obese, 5'10", hairy stomach, fat, Paulo Costa, Azamat Murzakanov. Like, he was the dark horse of the division. Losing to Paulo Costa is not that bad. Guys, he got chinned by a jab. He got chinned by a jab by someone who's like 7 inches shorter than him. Like, this guy is so shit. His entries are terrible. He's hittable. He's just such a liability to pick. But I'm going to pick him. Tybura, he's not like an elite striker by any stretch of the imagination, but he throws some weird shit. he could catch Rakic with something, but he's slow, he's plotty. If Rakic doesn't fuck up here and he actually cares about his career, he'll just stay on the outside, popping jabs, throwing low kicks, occasional head kick, and just win. You know what I mean? Don't even force the finish. I know you should be finishing Tybura as an athletic freak at heavyweight, but like, just win. You know what I mean? Because if you lose this, I mean, what does he do? What does Rakic do if he loses this? He needs this win. Can't wait to see the Jimmy Manoa highlight 18 times before he fights. Going to be electric. I'm going Rakic decision because that's honestly what he should be going for. Don't trade with this guy. Stay as far away as you can from his blobby clinch. Just low kick, low kick, low kick. If he just jabs and low kicks, I guarantee by like the end of the second round, this guy Tybura is going to be compromised, and Rakic can just naturally find a finish in round 3. Just don't be a dickhead, Rakic, please, God. Next up, co-main event, Jan Blachowicz taking on Navajo Sterling. This one's tough, too. This one's tough to predict. The favorites on this card make no sense. How is Navajo minus 300? He was losing to Jan Cutelaba. But that being said, Jan Blachowicz's last real win was Israel Adesanya at UFC 259. On paper, he has a win over Rakic, but it's baloney. It's fugazi. It's not real. Rakic hurt himself. And I think, I haven't rewatched it in a long time, but I think Rakic was low-key winning. It's kind of like Arnold Allen versus Cater. Like, we don't count that as a win for Allen. We're not like, dude, Allen has a win over Cater, you know? So Jan Blachowicz's last win, even though Allen was winning until he wasn't, I'm pretty sure, but it doesn't matter. Jan Blachowicz hasn't won a fight since, 2021? Against Navajo Sterling's black alter ego, Israel Adesanya. Stylistically, man, Jan Blachowicz can get this done. Get some timely takedowns, defend the kicks pretty well, land his own thudding kicks. The inside low kick is probably going to be there. I like that weapon from Jan. But man, he is in fact 415 years old. And that can't go unnoticed. It's like getting dropped by Bogdan Guskov I don't like. I know Guskov is a nice right hand, but that's all he has. So you would think as like a insanely top of the sport, high level fighter, Jan Blachowicz would know to not get hit by the right hand because that's all fucking Guskov has. And he still got dropped and 10-8'd. And then he just outstruck him in round 1 and 2. The Olberg fight was very close. This fight's going to be close no matter who wins, I feel like. So I'm just going to lean on the side of Sterling. If this fight's close, they probably give it to him. You know what I mean? I feel like his body language is going to be better in there. I don't know, dude. Like, Jan Blachowicz could win, but he's so old and full of mold. I have to go Sterling. Short notice kind of scares me too. Shout out Sterling for taking this, because obviously this is supposed to be the Guskov rematch. So Navajo's taking this on like a few weeks' notice. Very impressive, undefeated guy putting his undefeated record on the line against Blachowicz. I just think Sterling's going to get the better reactions when he lands. I don't see Jan wrestling. I'm seeing people say, Jan could wrestle. They're saying he could put like a full wrestling game plan on this guy. Jan can't do that anymore, dude. He's 43. He is a walking pharmacy. I am the roid watcher. People are pocket watchers, stuff like that. I'm the roid watcher. I know when people are on the sauce, dude. And Jan Blachowicz and Navajo Sterling are both on the sauce, just letting you know. I don't know if that information's important to you, but I can almost guarantee they both are. Blachowicz is a walking pharmacy. Navajo Sterling trains at CKB. Need I say more? So I don't see Jan's body like giving out on him or anything in this fight. I think he'll look like how he always looks. But if that's what we're getting, recent Jan Blachowicz form just goes close with everyone, man. God, dude, should I just pick Jan? Like, I can't even make a case for Sterling other than the fact that Jan's old. You know what I mean? Because I think Jan has the better weapons on the feet. And if anyone's getting takedowns, it's probably going to be him. So you would think I would pick him. But sometimes you just gotta pick on age and vibes and plot armor, man. You know what I mean? Like, I've been making these plot armor picks recently. Like, what was the one last weekend? What was my plot armor pick last weekend? Was I right? I mean, I must have been. I only got one fight wrong. What was my plot armor pick? I don't even remember. Damn, I actually don't remember. Oh, it was it was Zainikov, but he was minus 300, so whatever. The fight before that, I picked McMillan against Montez because of plot armor, and I was right. So Navo Sterling. So it's who the UFC wants to win. The crowd is going to be loving Jan. You know, Central European, I believe. Poland is in, so I'm sure Serbians will be cheering for him. But Navo Sterling's what, 20 something? I should probably know how old he is. It's pretty embarrassing that I don't. But he's 20 something. Jan Blachowicz is old as fuck. Navajo is bigger. I think he's just going to land stuff on Jan that Jan's not used to, feeling. The reaction time's going to go eventually, man. He's going to start getting hit with jabs, and I like the body work of Sterling. The kicks of Jan, with the way Sterling stands, I don't know if Blahovich's body kicks are going to be there. I like Sterling's head kicks, keeping Jan honest. I just feel like if I'm Sterling, I'm staying at range, kicking this guy over and over again. Just in the head, in the body. Trying to check his kicks, or just move out the way. Probably don't even check them. You don't want to go shin to shin with dense shin bone Max or Jan Blachowicz. I'm going to go Navajo to edge this one out. It's very close. Can't believe he's minus 310. I don't pick fights based on, odds. I know some people will be like, oh, there's a lot of value on this dog, so I'll pick him. I'm always just going to pick who I think is going to win. But if I was a betting man, which I'm not, you might just have to lay some on Jan Blachowicz, because plus 250 against a guy who isn't the biggest puncher, isn't the craziest high-volume guy, and Jan Blachowicz, who, he has a draw with Ankalaev not too long ago. Very close fight with Olberg. He won 2 rounds against Guskov. He just got dominated in round 2. Which I just don't like. He looked old in that round 2, you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like Navo's going to win minutes. I feel like he'll be pressuring more often than not. If they meet in the middle, I trust Navajo's speed. Give me Navajo decision, 29-28. People will call it a robbery. Is what it is, I guess. All right, on to the main event. Johnny Sins taking on South Park Mexican. Dude, I probably shouldn't compare D-Rod to South Park Mexican, actually. Daniel Rodriguez got arrested for carrying 27 grams across the border. South Park Mexican got arrested for something I literally don't think I can say on YouTube without getting my channel deleted, so sorry about that, D-Rod. You are, in fact, not as bad as South Park Mexican. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. This is a cool fight. Industry plant-ass main event for Medic. It's a good fight, though. It'll be fun. It should end in the first 7.5 minutes, you would assume. And, D-Rod, I love D-Rod, but, man, he just got out of prison, dude. He just spent 8 months in a Mexican penitentiary, and you want me to pick him to win a main event in Serbia? I can't imagine the training partners were that high level in the Tijuana prison. Can't imagine he was getting in some good sparring sessions there, you know what I mean? So it just seems like in a fight like this, where they're probably going to swing in the pocket, first one to land goes down, gotta go with the side of speed. Gotta go with the speed Mog of Uros Medic here, probably. But, I mean, if this fight took place a year and a half ago, I feel like I'd be picking D-Rod. Maybe not picking him, but Uros Medic being minus 400 is so insane, dude. He's a glass cannon. This guy has no chin. Dropped by Urbina. Dropped by Semmelsberger. Dropped fucking out cold by Soriano. You know what I mean? Molested on the ground by Oralby. Doesn't have anything to do with this fight, but figured I should mention it. So it's if D-Rod wasn't T Grizzly maxing, first day out, Pooh Shiesty maxing, FDO, first day out, bitch, fuck the feds. Saw 6 foreigns, I just got out the bunk bed. Pooh Shiesty maxing, FDO, D-Rod. But, like, if that wasn't the case, dude, I'd be even more split on this fight. Because they're going to trade in the pocket. Whoever lands first is going out, you know what I mean? I think D-Rod's the better boxer. I think he's more durable. I think they both hit hard as fuck. I have to go with the tenacity and speed of Medic, I guess, dude. I can't imagine D-Rod's diet has been too great either. He's always been like a fat guy, but I mean, he can't be in good shape right now. There's no way. If this fight gets out of round 2, I'm seeing people say Medic is fucked. But dude, D-Rod, there's no way he's in like perfect condition right now. So I'll go Medic. I'll go Medic round 1 KO. It's what they want. You know who they are. It's what they want. The up aboves in the UFC. I'm rooting for D-Rod, though. I always will. I like D-Rod. I think he's cool. Medic is cool, too. I've been seeing the Ian Gary slander. I can get behind that. But yeah, I'll go Medic, round 1 KO. Close fight, weirdly, though. Can't justify minus 400 for Medic against anyone, basically. But, I mean, like, dude, he was just plus, like, 300 against Jeff Neal. And now he's minus 400 against D-Rod. Like, I don't get that, really. Like, what did that Jeff Neal fight really change in our minds? You know what I mean? Like, he's a hard hitter, but he's chinny. We know this. How is he minus 400 against D-Rod? It makes no sense. Don't put him in every parlay. Be careful. I, Jimbo Ortega, am not responsible for your failed bets when Medic gets chinned in round 1 in Serbia. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say for today. See y'all Saturday night for the post-fight recap. And then see you next week for Gamrot versus Salkill, baby. It's going to be a horrible, horrible card, but a sick main event. And I'm not going to spoil who I'm picking, but Quillen Salkill, your time has come, buddy. The inventor of sex is, fucked.